Did you know that long before your body gives out, something deeper starts to ache? It's a feeling that sleep can't fix and rest can't seem to reach. The soul gets tired before the body. We live in a strange time, don't we? A time where being exhausted is almost normal, where stress is worn like a badge of honor, and being busy is confused with having a meaningful life. Silence. That feels almost uncomfortable now. But the most dangerous kind of fatigue isn't physical, it's existential. You can rest your body for a full 8 hours and still wake up feeling completely empty. Because what's truly tired isn't your muscles, it's your soul. In our modern world, exhaustion is often treated like a personal failure, as if being tired means you're inefficient, fragile, or somehow broken. But if we look back through history, the greatest thinkers understood something we're slowly forgetting. Fatigue isn't always a defect. Sometimes it's a signal. The famous psychologist Carl Jung once wrote that neurosis is often a substitute for legitimate suffering. In other words, when you ignore your soul, it finds other, louder ways to get your attention. That feeling of anxiety, that restlessness, that chronic stress, these aren't always just disorders that need to be silenced with a quick fix. They can be symptoms of a much deeper misalignment. Your soul is protesting. It's telling you it can't keep living a life that goes against its very nature, a life without limits. The ancient Greeks had a beautiful word that we rarely hear today, metrum, which means measure or balance. For the philosopher Aristotle, virtue wasn't found in extremes. It wasn't about having too much or too little. Virtue lived in the middle, in the balance. Courage wasn't the same as recklessness. Rest wasn't the same as laziness. And silence was never emptiness. What truly exhausts us today isn't the effort we put in, but the excess we live with, an excess without any real meaning. We work without a natural rhythm. We consume things without ever feeling satisfied. We talk without really listening, and we think without ever finding stillness. The Greeks understood that a life without measure, without balance, eventually just collapses inward on itself. And that brings us to today. Our modern age really struggles with limits. We are always available, always connected, always responding to the next notification, the next email, the next demand on our time. But the soul, your soul, requires boundaries to thrive. When there are no limits, our attention shatters into a million pieces. Our sense of who we are starts to dissolve, and even the idea of taking a break feels guilty. Psychologically, this creates a constant state of anxiety. Philosophically, it makes us feel alienated and disconnected. And spiritually, it produces a deep, hollow kind of silence, not the healing kind. Even the often misunderstood figure Aleister Crowley talked about the importance of finding your true will, not just following every impulse, but finding your true alignment and purpose. But our modern culture has largely replaced will with appetite, and appetite never, ever rests. Think about the life of Jesus. He lived in a world filled with urgency, suffering, and constant expectations from the people around him. And yet, What did he do repeatedly? He withdrew. He rested. He went away to be alone. He was silent. His invitation, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest," wasn't just a nice phrase. It was a radical call to reorder your entire life. This wasn't an invitation to escape your responsibilities. It was an invitation to understand your own limits and live within them. Jesus didn't deny his human limits. He embraced them. And in a culture like ours that glorifies endless productivity and hustle, choosing to rest becomes a powerful act of resistance. Rest is a declaration. It says, "I am not infinite. I am not a machine. I am not self-sufficient, and I was never meant to carry everything all by myself." Silence can be so uncomfortable for us because it strips away all the distractions. And when the distractions are finally gone, the soul starts to speak. Jung had another profound idea. He believed that whatever we do not confront on the inside will eventually meet us on the outside as our fate. Silence forces us to have that confrontation, gently but honestly. The modern mind is afraid of silence because silence reveals everything we try to keep hidden, our unresolved grief, our unmet longings, and all the false identities we wear to get through the day. But silence isn't emptiness, it's space. In many spiritual traditions, the desert was never seen as a place of abandonment. It was a place of formation, a place where you could be reshaped. The soul doesn't heal in the middle of constant noise. It heals in the quiet. We hear the word burnout all the time, and it's usually described as a state of complete exhaustion. But at its very core, burnout is a collapse of meaning. You can endure incredible suffering when your life has a sense of purpose. But even the smallest effort becomes unbearable when meaning is absent. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust, understood this better than anyone. He saw that those who had a why to live for could survive almost anyhow. Your soul gets tired, not from the effort you put in, but from effort that is completely disconnected from your purpose. So, true rest isn't just about stopping all activity. It's about reconnecting with your why. It's about remembering why you started moving in the first place. So, as we close, I want you to consider this. Perhaps what you're feeling right now isn't failure. Perhaps it's wisdom, arriving a little late, but arriving nonetheless. Your soul is asking for something. It's asking for measure, for balance. It's asking for silence. It's asking for limits. And most of all, it's asking for meaning. Not everything in your life needs to be solved right now. Some things just need to be laid down. Rest isn't about quitting on life. It's about returning to it properly. The soul gets tired before the body. And when we finally learn to listen to it, true rest becomes possible again. Thank you for spending this time with me. This is Repose for the Soul, a space to breathe, a space to remember, and a space to rest. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more moments of reflection.